Hey everyone, it's Heather with H Studio Creations, and today I'm going to show you how I made this glitter rhinestone tumbler. So to start, I mixed up about 15 milliliters of epoxy. I am spreading that across 3 tumblers though, so for this specific tumbler I probably used about 5 milliliters of epoxy. And I'm just spreading it around thinly and making sure that I get everywhere and all the surface area covered, so that way my glitter can adhere everywhere on the tumbler. And you want to make sure that you get around all the edges of the handle. And once my epoxy layer is thinly coated everywhere, I'm going to take Phantom from Peachy Olive Glitter and I'm just going to cover the whole entire tumbler, making sure that I get every surface area covered in it. Once I'm done, I'm going to take my parchment paper and just gently roll the glitter, flatten it into the tumbler so that way nothing is sticking up. And because this one had a handle, I did put on a glove and just get into the glove as well, where I couldn't really reach with the parchment paper. So I'm just gently tapping my glove finger, just making sure everything is laying flat. And all this does is just help make sure that the epoxy coats go on smoothly and it doesn't take as much epoxy to coat and make everything nice and smooth. And once that dries, I am going in with about 20 milliliters of epoxy. And with these handle cups, I do like to start with the handle with my turner off. So I'm just applying a thin layer on the handle so it doesn't start clumping or pooling the epoxy as it turns. And then once I'm done with the handle, I turn my turner on and I apply epoxy to the whole body of the tumbler and then let it do its thing on the turner for a couple hours. I do hit it with a heat gun as well, just to pop any bubbles. And once that's dry, I'm going in with a second coat as well. I didn't film all the coats, but I did hit it with a second coat of epoxy. After this one, again, about 20 milliliters of epoxy for that as well, same process. Once 2 coats of epoxy are dried and my tumbler is nice and smooth, I am going in with the clear cast decal here. So I will link everything down below in the description on where I got everything. But the clear cast decal is pretty much like a big giant sticker. It's fairly easy to apply. You just stick it on, and I just like to squeegee out any air bubbles that may have formed. And then I am flipping my tumbler over, and on the bottom I am putting my vinyl decal. I cut it with my Cricut. And again, I will link that in the description below. So applying my decal, and as well I'm using the squeegee to get out any sort of air bubbles that may have formed. And again, I didn't film this part, but I did put 2 more coats of epoxy, both 20 milliliters each on each coat of epoxy, to make my tumbler nice and smooth. And now once you have those 2 coats on top of your decals, you could stop if you want. You don't need to do the next part. Your tumbler is now complete as long as it's nice and smooth everywhere. And now for applying the rhinestones, I am using my Crystal Ninja Precision Tip bottle because I want to make sure that I only get the liquid diffusion adhesive, in which I'm using inside the bottle, only on the decal part. I don't want to get it everywhere on the tumbler. So I'm just applying it in little sections, just exactly where I want it. So anywhere there's a pink decal, I am applying the glue. And then I'm going in with the fuchsia stones in mix sizes from Bling on the Chaos, and I will link that down below, as well as a discount code you can use to purchase. And so anywhere there is a pink decal, I am just going ahead and putting on a rhinestone using the liquid fusion adhesive to stick those. And you just want to be careful that you don't get it onto the actual white part of the tumbler, because then the glue will dry and it won't be that smooth epoxy surface. So you want to make sure that you only are applying liquid fusion and the rhinestones to your decal portion. So I'm going to go speed that up here so you can see me just working in sections along. You will see as well, I am using some fine tip tweezers just to make sure that everything is kind of pushed into the pink spaces and the white is peekabooing through as it should. And that's the final look. I hope you all enjoyed this tumbler tutorial. Please like and subscribe to our channel if you want more. And thanks everyone, and have a great day.